Alright, YouTube singers, this video will tackle Un bel di by Puccini from Madame Butterfly, and this is a biggie, both as a vocal tour de force and also having a very, very advanced Italian. Lots of mistakes that could be made, lots of things that can throw off your singing, lots of open vowels that people sing as closed, and vice versa. Lots of phrasal doublings. And first off, before we get started, I'd like to point you to the information below this video. I have a bunch of links, some shameless promotion to my own website and Facebook page, but a very important link there is to the RAI dictionary. It's a pronunciation dictionary, and if you follow the link, you can type in pretty much any word if you have a question, and it will tell you whether it's open or closed. And what I love about it is that it acknowledges the existence of phrasal doublings. So you'll see complete lines there from Dante and various literary sources where somebody Italian will read it in a sound file and they actually notate in IPA all of the doublings. So it's a great source. It's been around for a long time. I've been using it for over 10 years. So let's go on to our text, and what I will do first is I'll go through every single word and every single thing that you should look out for, every mistake that could be made, and then later on I will just read the text straight through. So here we go right from the beginning. So the first word, un, if it's alone, it's un, but it's followed by a word that starts with a B. So what happens is, if I said the first two words together, it would go like this in speech, un bel di. Now what happened was my lips came together, and the N actually assimilated into the B, making an M. So this, on this very first G flat that you sing, has to be done very, very lightly and not call attention to itself. But if you do not do that, you will ruin your legato, and I will demonstrate how. So say I were to make the N in my mouth, then I would do this, un bel di. So you see what happens is I have to go una, release the tongue, bel di. So when I release the tongue, if I'm attempting to make legato at that moment, I will have a shadow vowel. And not only that, I lose my position. So if you're trying to stay what the Italians say in un binario, right? When you sing, you're on one track. You'll come off the track, right? So again, I'll demonstrate un bel di. See? So it just assimilates. Now you can do it wrong too. You can exaggerate it, right? So if you go and you really close down on that M, everybody notices, and you phonate too long on that, right? So it has to go by, not interrupting the legato, bel di, very naturally, right? And very elegantly. Okay. The next word, di. Di is a word that nobody says in modern Italian. If you say buon di to somebody, they'll laugh at you in Italy, right? It's like poetic Shakespeare. It's the old word that's been replaced by giorno, right? So it's di is day, poetic. Okay, very old Italian. Now, the difference between this di and the preposition of di, also spelled di, is that it has an accent grave to differentiate it, right? So you know that it's the word day when it's spelled di with an accent. Well, it is a strong monosyllable when it's the word day. When it's a preposition, it is not. Now, the difference between strong monosyllables and weak monosyllable is a strong monosyllable causes a phrasal doubling. What does that mean? It means that the next word, the consonant will be a double. So after D, you say vvedremo. Every E in that word is closed, but the V doubles. So di vvedremo. See, so there's a slight double V, and then all of the E's are closed. The R in vvedremo rolls. Why is that? I see a lot of confusion about rolled R's, and the R rolls because it touches a consonant. So it's preceded by a consonant. It can touch it on either side, before or after. It rolls. Okay? Now the M in vvedremo is surrounded by vowels. And most of the time when a consonant is surrounded by vowels, it is single. It is a single consonant. Okay? I hear a lot people singing vvedremo, double M, right? And sometimes that'll change the text of the verb and lead to you not being understood. So to double an M, as opposed to making a single M, you phonate on the M, right? So by phonating, I mean my vocal cords are singing. They're there go my vocal cords, right? So if I try to avoid making a double M, but I phonate on the M, even if I phonate on it for a millisecond, it is a double M. Watch. Vvedremo. I doubled, right? Vvedremo. Vvedremo. I try to go soft. It's still double M because I phonated, right? So to get rid of double M, vvedremo, right? So the M is just a quick stroke of an M. And the vowels are long, so you can practice. It's the same feeling, right? If you want to be kinesthetic about it, the feeling is eo, right? So if you just do the vowels and you remember that feeling of legato, vvedremo, you will never do a double M. Okay, going on. Levarsi. Okay, now the C is actually the reflexive, right? So a lot of things in Romance languages take the reflexive where they don't in English. One of them is to wash. Like we have weird prepositions and we don't think about it at all. Like you wash up, right? You grow up. Like what does the up mean? It doesn't mean anything, right? Well, maybe in grow up it does, but you wash up. There are those things. So reflexive verbs in Italian are si leva, right? It rises. It rises itself. Like we just say it rises, but in Italian you have to raise yourself up. It's reflexive, right? So the C is on the end and it's always unvoiced. So you see things like that, right? So the infinitive is levare, right? Levare. And the reflexive is tacked on at the end. Levarsi. Okay? So the R is rolled because it touches an S. The E is in an unstressed position, so it is closed. Okay, so we'll talk about open and closed vowels, and I give general notes at the beginning of every video. And there's a point in this video where I will just read the text. So advanced singers of Italian can skip all of this if you know this already and go to that point where I just read the text. But I'm going to assume every aria that the person coming in here is coming just for this aria and wants to brush up on the general language. So going back to unstressed vowels. Unstressed vowels, meaning that every accent has a word. In Italian, usually it's on the penultimate syllable, right? Levarsi, so the accent is on the ah, the stress is on the ah. The E is in the unstressed position. So any E that's in an unstressed position is a closed vowel. By closed, all I mean is A, right? Or if it's O, it's O, like Quaker Oats without the glide in English, O, O, right? Open is for the E, it's A. And in IPA, that's designated by the Greek-looking E, and aw. And that the symbol for that is this looks like this, is backwards, is this way, right? Aw. So that's the open O. Okay? So on unstressed vowels, the beauty of this is that they're always closed. Okay? Now you'll see them written in the Nico Castell books and in the Evelina Colorni book as open, And this was actually Evelina Colorni did it before Castell did it. When Evelina Colorni wrote it, it was to ensure that you're not going to sing a closed vowel that was really closed and bad for your voice. It did not mean that the nature of the vowel was a or aw. It just meant open, right? Open it. So like oh, a. Okay, so I hope that clears up a lot of confusion. I've had a lot of success vocally with people, persuading people who have been opening the endings to close the endings, and then they realize, oh my God, this is so much easier to sing, because it gives you the momentum to go forward and to go ahead. So that was a lot of explanation for one word, but this formula will be repeated over and over and over and over again. So levarsi, right? The R is rolled, the first E is closed. Okay, the next word is right? Until you put it before an F. And here is the second N assimilation. So watch me, watch my lip. I'm going to say the two words together. Fil. Okay, now slowly it's weird because I'm doing it really slowly, right? When it speaks, it's like fil di fumo. Fil di fumo. So what happened there exactly? You're going to say a fricative. Now, an F, right? See, so what happens? Your bottom lip touches your top teeth. Like that. The N assimilates to the F. Fil di fumo. This is the hardest one to get right and to make sound natural when you're singing and not have it call attention to itself. Now, I'll demonstrate the other thing that could happen. Say you do get too literal and you start reading and it's like, oh, there's an N there. Okay, so you put that N in your mouth, right? So, fil. Again, you're trying to make legato, and what happens? You have to release your tongue, you make a shadow vowel, and then you go to the F. So it's in your mouth, and then it has to go on your lip, right? Fil. Okay, so you're making three motions when you should only be making one. Fil. How much easier is that, right? Okay, now let's do the exaggeration of it, right? So, okay, now you have it. You're like, oh my God, this is great, right? I'm going to go home and try it, and I'm going to just do it, right? And you exaggerate it, right? So the next thing is you go, fil. Okay, that's bad too, because you can take a good thing and you exaggerate it. It becomes inelegant. It becomes vulgar. Okay, so the best way to do it is that it doesn't call attention to itself. It just goes straight ahead. Fil di fumo. And this aria is chock full of this kind of stuff. Okay, so that's the second N. So the first N assimilation was before M, right? So bel D. Oh, before B also. B and M, right? So you say d'un padre in mano. You see all of those. Because it becomes IM, right? Now before V and F, like inverno is the one I've just been demonstrated. Fil di fumo. Okay, now I'm doing it in slow motion, so it's probably a little bit exaggerated. It'll go by a lot faster when you're singing it. Okay, so the next word is fumo. So the accent is on the first syllable, and the U is long, the M is single. Next word, sul, double L. So how we do double L is we phonate on the L and we linger on it. Sull'estrɛmo, right? So, sull'estrɛmo, right? So, the next word is estremo. So, it's close the open E in the middle on the stress, closed O. So, remember from before, all your unstressed are closed, right? The stress of the word is on after the R, that E. That vowel is open. Now, open vowels can be, stressed vowels can be either open or closed, and there are no rules. right? You have to memorize them all. This is the bad news, right? But the good news is there are lots of resources like the pronouncing dictionary I mentioned earlier. There is this, if you look below the video, I've notated the aria with all of the possible phrasal doublings in all of the open vowels, and everything else is phonetic. Okay, so I don't use IPA other than just to mark what is not phonetic. That way you're not looking at this gibberish. I see a lot of singers, they spend all this time with IPA. Why? When the letters of the Italian represent exactly what they sound like, except for the assimilations, the open and closed vowels, and the phrasal doublings. That's it. That's all I notate. And that way your score is very uncluttered. So here's another thing. When you speak, I'm going on about this one word, right? You could make 5 mistakes in one word, and I hear this all the time when I'm in an opera performance. I can't shut this off. I'm listening to people making mistakes in Italian all the time. So the word is estremo, right? So I got fixated on the S, because the S, when you speak, you can say estremo, right? When you can hiss the S. But when you sing, you have to sing estremo, estremo, okay? And you see how I'm wired for the singing. I'm not exactly wired to speak, right? So everything is elongated and it seems exaggerated, but when you sing, that's how slowly things go by, right? You cannot sing es the way you would speak. You see, you can't do that. You can't hiss on that S, because then you stop phonation, okay? So that's another thing. Remember, too much S in the theater is always ugly. Next word is coŋfin. Okay, what happened again? It was that N before F assimilation with the bottom lip. Coŋfin, right? Coŋfin del mare. So del, D-E-L, is closed. Del, that's a computer company. D-E-L is del, right? Mare, single R, flipped R. So R's that are surrounded by vowels are flipped. Not mare, no, mare, 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 right? So you can do it by doing a D first, mare, without any dentalization, right? And then you can do a flipped R. It's the same position, right? Okay, going on. A, the word for and, is closed. A, the word for is, it has an accent, is open. And now I'm not in any way trying to say that an accent on a word affects the pronunciation, other than certain formulas that are constant. But an accented word can be either open or closed. I mean, an accent with an actual written accent can be either open or closed, okay? So as you see, there's a lot of information to bombard you with as far as all of this non-written stuff in Italian. And we're taught that Italian is a phonetic language. Well, yes, up to a certain point, but not until it's not. Okay, so ppɔi. Okay, so what happened? I doubled the P because A is a strong monosyllable. Okay, now if you want a list of all the strong monosyllables, number one, I've written a handbook putting all of this together, and I didn't make any of this up. This is everywhere. This is discussed in the Nico Costel books. It's discussed on the pronunciation dictionary. It's also discussed in Evelina Colorni's book. Now, Evelina Colorni did it better than anybody. She has, if you go to the end of the book, it's the book Singer's Italian. It's a green book. You probably had it in diction class when you had Italian 101. You go to the end, the last couple pages or so, and she lists every single strong monosyllable, and she also lists the weak ones. And the weak ones, there are really very few. You can count them on both your hands, probably. Okay, so, and then the other thing she lists are the polysyllable words that cause a phrasal doubling. So it's a tremendous resource. So ppɔi. So POI is open, VOI is closed, NOI is closed. So noi for we, voi For you, plural and polite. Voi, right, is closed. Ppɔi is open. Okay. La nave. So LA, the definite article, is one of the weak monosyllables. It does not cause a phrasal doubling. And for some odd reason, Americans love to double after the word la. I don't know why. I can't stop you from doing it. If somebody could clue me in on why this happens, right? So I always hear ppɔi la nave, right? So there's always that double N there. There's no double N after la. Now, la, that means over there, it has an accent, la dove, you double after that, okay? So let's end the confusion about that. La nave, right? Nave, single V. Close the at the end. Appare. So let's talk about double consonants now, okay? How do we do a double consonant? Literally, how do we do it? We do not do two consonants. We don't say appare. We don't say P on both sides of the space. We make a space. We don't cut the vowel before the double consonant. Appare. I hear that a lot, right? People sing appare. O mio babbino caro, right? Where you shorten, right? And it becomes very staccato. So appare. So the strength of the double consonant comes from the space, not from the force of the consonant. So this is a very, very important concept to learn. Appare. So the A is long, pare. And you go up to the P, and you don't say it. Then you say it. Double consonant. Okay? Same thing with tutto, right? Tutto. Now, when you speak, if you're speaking Italian, tutto, you can shorten the vowel a little bit. When you sing, you have to elongate because it sounds funny when you sing, right? Tutto, right? So, appare. Okay. Single R, surrounded by vowels. Appare. Okay, going on. Poi, there it is again. La nave, again. Bianca. So here's yet another N assimilation, and we do this when in English we say something like inkwell. We get the middle of our tongue and we assimilate to the K, right? Bianca, right? So also looking at the K sound in Italian, we do not have any air going through that. So if you say this wrong, you could say bianca, right? And it also, the jaw comes and does bad stuff for singing, right? So you can always practice if you're having problems making legato and things. Go to the unvoiced cousin. So the unvoiced of K, right? What I mean by voiced and unvoiced is k. There's no phonation. Ga. There's phonation now, right? So if I said bianca, right? Now you're not going to sing it that way, but bianca. You see, it's in exactly that same position as the G, and it's as close to being voiced before you make it unvoiced. Okay? And that's with your T's, your D's, anything that's like that, your ch, same thing, right? J, ch. See, everything is a cousin. There's like a voiced and unvoiced cousin to every consonant, right? T, d, right? And we managed to even put air through dental, right? We speak like that with air, right? So the T's and the ch and the k in Italian, they have no air through them. Going on. Ɛntra. So rolled R touches the T. Open E at the beginning. Okay. Again, the stress can either be open or closed. Nel. Closed E. Pɔrto. Open O. And the stress. Rolled R. Closed O. Romba. Okay. So now here's a great example of a stressed word that's closed, right? So, as I was saying, you can have a stressed vowel that's closed or open, right? That's all you worry about, stressed vowels. So it's actually easier to memorize the ones that are, I usually have people memorize the ones that are open, and then you assume all the others are closed. Il, I-L, suo. So all of the possessive pronouns usually have the accent on the first vowel. Suo, all right? Saluto. So single consonants. Auo. That's how you practice. Saluto. Vedi. Again, a lot of verbs have accented closed vowels. Vedi. Question. Vvenuto. Double V. The word for is. Vvenuto. Single consonants. All closed. Io. The word for I, right? The accent is on the E. Io non. Okay, so now let's talk about no and not. Okay, so not is open because it usually is in the stressed, right? Non is closed because it's usually in an unstressed position. Okay, so the word no in Italian, not, is very funny because if you say no, not, the first one ends up being closed, and then the next one is open, okay? So if you have a whole bunch of no's in a row, well, the last one's open, and then that's what happens, okay? You can also check this phenomenon on the RAI. They'll have, if you just type in no, you'll see what they have to say about it. So, io non. Now, gli. Oh, how do we do gli? So, a lot of Americans have a problem with gli because we just kind of slough over it. We don't quite get it all, right? You have to do first and then yi, yi. So it starts with an L and then yi, yi. So you can practice by doing the second part first. Yi, yi, right? So just yi, and then once you get yi, put the L before it. Yi, 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 and then you go fast. Next word, scendo. It is closed, right? I hear scendo all the time. Scendo, and the N is up there, right? Scendo. It's on the top of it's on the roof of your mouth. The N phonates. Okay, next word is a great one for phonating N's also. Incontro. Okay, so you see, nothing falls out of position. Incontro. And it's all closed vowels. Io, no. Okay, so my computer just shut off for a second there for some odd reason. Well, I'm back. So io no. Okay, so the io is closed, the no is open. Next, mi is a weak monosyllable. Mi does not double. Metto. So close the metto. Okay, so double T. So we do not do two T's. We go up to the T, we stop. Metto. And then we have a strong T. Now here's the la that I was talking about. La, over there. I'm going to put myself over there. Right? So la, it doubles. So la, sul. See? So la, sul. The la stops, and then there's S. Ciglio, lio. Okay, so GL is lio, right? Except for words like there are a few exceptions that escape me right now, like to neglect. Ciglio, del, del. Cɔlle, so open O, double L. And aspɛtto. Now here's a word that changes when the stress gets conjugated, right? So the infinitive is aspettare. So the E is in the unstressed position in the infinitive, right? So in the old days, people would argue with me about this word when I would conjugate it. No, it's aspetto, aspetta, right? Aspetti, right? So that when the E becomes stressed in this word, it changes to open. When it's in the infinitive, it's closed. So if you just have a dictionary and you look it up, you're going to see aspettare. Okay? E aspetto gran tempo. They make that one, that ends up being one word, right? Gran tempo. And the N goes up to the T. Tempo, the E is open. Here we have another assimilation. E non mi pesa, right? No, ordinarily the E would double the N, but in this case, because you're going to say non mi pesa, if you do the M assimilation, I wouldn't double the N. E non mi pesa. Pesa is closed. La lunga, again it goes around in your mouth. Attesa, close the double T. Let's go on. E, closed. Uscito. Okay, so the sh in Italian, you'll hear this over and over again if you see my other videos. The sh is considered a double consonant. And what I mean by that is that when you sing, you have to stop a little bit the u. Uscito. And the sh has to be completely on the next note, in the next syllable. Uscito. Right? When you speak, you could say uscito. Right? It's a little more hissy, right? When you sing, if you do that, especially if it's a long note, you're going to end up going e uscito. You see what I mean? So it ends up being ugly in the theater. Uscito. Uscito. One T. Dalla. Double L. Also a great songwriter, right? Dalla. I wrote the Caruso song. Now the word folla can be open or closed, right? Folla, some people can say folla, right? Folla is a little more common, right? So I marked both of them. Double L, I would say open O. Cittadina, cittadina, right? Double T, single N. Un uomo. So open. So usually when you have uo, fuoco, cuore, the vowel's open because of that semi-vowel, okay? Un uomo, and I'm sure we can find a word that's closed somewhere in Italian, right? That's an exception, but most of those you can assume they're going to be open. Here you have an M, an N before a P that changes to an M. Picciol, right? Which is piccolo, but picciol. Punto. The N goes into the T. Savia. So now double V is like double B in Italian. It doesn't stop phonation, and we tend to overdo double V. So we're like Savia, right? Savia, and really, really violent, right? Savia. Never the phonation ever stops, right? It's like Babino. Babino. It doesn't do that. Okay? Next. Per. Doesn't rhyme with the per, right? Doesn't rhyme with the fruit pear. Per e. It's like a. La, weak monosyllable. Collina, double L, single N. Now here we have a very interesting combination of words because you have two doubling words in a row. And then the future tense, sarà, will cause a phrasal doubling because of the stress on the last syllable on that note. So when you start, you could say chi sarà, double the S, but then the sarà can double the chi the second time. So you could say chi sarà, right? Or you could say chi sarà, chi sarà, chi sarà, chi sarà. See what I mean? I doubled the second time I doubled the k of chi. E come, see, e come, double C, sarà giunto, double G. So in the word sarà is a single R. And the same thing with this one. Che dirà, double D, and then double the C. Che dirà, che dirà. You could do that. Okay, dirà, what will he say? Chi sarà, what will be. It's a future tense. Okay, now all in the future. Chiamerà, he will call. Chiamerà. So the accent is on the A, so the E is closed. Chiamerà. I did it in slow motion. Okay, now you look in some diction books and there's like, it looks like there's some universal way to pronounce this like you're an Italian, right? And now with the world getting smaller, there are Italians who can say butterfly, right? And that was Puccini. Puccini, it was very funny. It's kind of ironic, actually, that Puccini wanted the words, the foreign names in his operas to be pronounced exactly the way they were in English, okay? So, but then, you know, you listen to casts during his time and they're saying things like butterfly, right? And, you know, now, and then in the 50s, they started to say butterfly. And we have Americans, you know, it's very funny. Like we have an American singing an English word trying to sound Italian and saying butterfly. Now, I've notated it the Italian way. You can say butterfly if you like. It doesn't matter, right? The world won't end, right? My point is that there is really no way to do it. If you listen to the 1927 Lorenzo Molaioli recording, they're saying actually "bö," like an umlaut, butterfly, which is very funny. It's also very funny to hear what the entire tradition. The opera that has the most English words is Fanciulla and oh my God, Wells Fargo and things like that, right? Hello, goodbye. Anyway, I digress. So dalla again, lontana, single N, right? The first N goes into the T, lontana. Io senza, so the Z is like tsetse fly, right? It's like Mozart. Senza, right? If you're from the south, you say senza. That's what my family did. The E is open. Now, when you have the next thing, you have dar risposta, right? So when the R, when you have two consonants that come together in Italian, they become a double consonant. Okay, and Italians do like it's one word, like Wells Fargo, right? In Fanciulla, you know, it's Wells Fargo. Dar risposta, right? Yeah. So dar risposta, right? So it's closed though in risposta. They're going on. Mene, closed. Starò, so the open O stressed at the end. Starò nascosta, and it rhymes with risposta. Okay, so the lot in that, right? Starò nascosta, so that double N after the truncated ending of the word, the strong stress. So the O open makes a double N. Po. Now the word po doubles. It's a strong monosyllable. So you'd say un po' per Celia. È un po' per non morire. Okay, how many assimilations can you have in one line? Non morire, right? There's that N that goes into an M. È un po' per non morire. How legato would you be if you hit all those assimilations, right? Al primo. So the R has phonation, right? We didn't really talk about rolled R. Rolled R has pitch. So whatever pitch you're singing is in that R. It's not, I see a lot of times American singers especially go to R position because our R is down here, you know, hi, I'm Bob. use the back door. Don't use the front door. Right? Primo, it's way up there, right? Al primo incontro. Right? Lots of what the Italians call a giro. It goes around in your head, right? Ed egli. So ed egli alquanto, right? So I feel like I'm shouting, right? But there's a lot of resonance in these words if you allow them to go to their Italian place. Impena. So the E in impena is closed, and please close it by all means, right? Impena. Chiamerà. So the E is closed because it's not the stress of the word. The stress of the word is on the end, right? So remember, all unstressed, I cannot say this enough, are closed, are A and O. Chiamerà. Right? So chiamerà, chiamerà. The second chiamerà, the C gets doubled because of the strong ending. Okay? This is turning into a very long video, and it's because there's so much to talk about in this. So now, the word chiamerà in the future tense will always double the next thing. So watch what happens. Chiamerà, chiamerà, piccina mogliettina. So mogliettina, close D, double T, single N, right? You could make 7 mistakes in this word, right? Now, if you're in doubt about the phrasal doublings, don't do too much. Don't ever do too much, right? And listen. Go listen to that Lorenzo Molaiole recording with an complete Italian cast. You will hear these phrasal doublings everywhere and done in the most beautiful, elegant Italian. Okay? But if you're in doubt, don't do too much. Always err on the side of, actually leaving them out if you're in doubt about them. All right? Next word, olezzo, closed E, and this ZZ is a DZ. And here's another thing that's not phonetic in Italian. So sometimes ZZ is like pizza, right? And sometimes it is not. And it could be single Z or double Z. And to compound matters, things like zio are supposed to be TZ, but now everybody in Italy says zio with a DZ. So everything is becoming DZ in modern spoken Italian. And I mean, if you want to keep the old, beautiful, elegant stage Italian, you need to know where it's DZ or ZZ. And the thing is, you have to memorize. Okay. Now, a good way to know is that if it was a D in Latin, then it's DZ. If it was it's a modern Italian word, then it's ZZ. So olezzo, see, DZ. Mezzo, okay. Pizza, TZ. Vezzi, TZ, right? So those are words you can memorize right off the bat. Okay, D. Now this is not the word. This is the preposition of DI. It is not D. It does not double. Verbena. Okay, a lot of words like this that we love to close. We love to say verbena. It's very easy for us, like shana. No, shana, right? Verbena, right? Open. Verbena. Okay. I nomi, closed O, che mi dava al suo venire. Now I'm going faster because a lot of these things are things we've already covered, right? So venire, it's closed D. Tutto, there's our double T, right? You go up to the T, you don't say it, and then you say it. You make a space, you have a long U before. All of these things, this whole checklist has to happen when you sing. Tutto, questo. Now, when you speak, you can say questo and hiss the S. When you sing, again, you have to say questo. It's way more clean. It's way more elegant. Averà. Double V. Keeping phonation. Close D. A lot of future tense in this aria. Avverrà, avverrà, right? You roll that R. I'm getting lazy now. So you can either say te lo prometto, or you can say avverrà te lo prometto. I think that's a better option, by the way Puccini has said it, right? To double the T after avverrà te lo prometto. So you make a little space. Prometto is closed D before a double T, right? Tienti, open E. La, tua, so the la again does not double, it's a weak monosyllable. Tua, paura. That's a big giro. Paura. Io, con sicura fede, close D. L'aspetto. I did that very slowly, like you would do when you sing it. Okay, all right. So that was a tremendous 45-minute slog through, but I hope that helps you and gives you a very clear blow-by-blow way to practice the language in this aria. So now we're going to do the whole text, line by line. Okay, here we go. Un bel dì vedremo levarsi un fil di fumo sull'estremo coŋfin del mare, e poi la nave appare. Poi la nave bianca entra nel porto, romba il suo saluto. Vedi, è venuto. Io non li scendo incontro, io no. Mi metto là sul ciglio del colle e aspetto gran tempo, e non mi pesa la lunga attesa. È uscito dalla folla cittadina un uomo, un picciol punto s'avvia per la collina. Chi sarà, e come sarà giunto, che dirà, chiamerà BBɔtterflai dalla lontana. Io senza dar risposta me ne starò nascosta, un po' per celia e un po' per non morire al primo incontro. Ed egli alquanto in pena chiamerà piccina mogliettina o lezzo di verbena, i nomi che mi dava al suo venire. If you enjoy this video, please like, please comment below, and please subscribe to my channel and share. And remember, go and see your coach.